Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be kind of a lengthier one probably for you guys today. But we're going to start off with how to tune your Mark 7 GTI utilizing HPA's tuning setup. So you have to purchase them from their website, HPA Motorsports. I've used these guys. I've been a big fan of these guys. I wouldn't say I've used these guys. This is my first Volkswagen. I've been a big fan of theirs for many years, and of course, once I heard they tune GTIs, I was very excited to get to work with them. You guys already know my affinity for HPA, having their downpipe in my car, and I also picked up their Stage 2 tune, and today I'm going to show you guys kind of a walkthrough step-by-step of how to tune these cars utilizing HPA. It's a pretty simple process. Now this is the device. This is the OnePort PWG3, otherwise known as the Alien Tech PowerGate 3 Plus. Utilize this to tune the car. It's got its own OS on it. It's a really cool little piece of kit. Now, for those who watched my channel before, this isn't the first time I've tuned a vehicle. I had a Ford Explorer Sport Track that was on a 93 race tune through Brent Speed that was done through an SCTX4, which in a lot of ways, this is like an SCTX4, but a lot more high-tech. Now, the granted, I don't know if this is going to have all the features. This is the first time I've opened it. I haven't even hooked this up to the car yet, which we're going to be doing in this video. It could have all the same features my XCT did. Hopefully it does. But I definitely, if it does, I don't know where I'm going to put this at, because for those who don't remember, my SCTX4 was pretty much mounted on my windshield at all times. So anyway, we're going to go out to the car and hook this up and do an initial setup in the vehicle side. I've actually plugged this in and already updated it, the firmware on this, through my Windows computer, which is something I recommend you do before you set it up in the car. Just make sure it's up to date, make sure everything is ready to roll, and then it comes with this, I believe this is micro USB cable. I can't remember which one it is. There's so many different USB types. I know USB-C and lightning cables and all that kind of crap, but for some reason the micro and then I think nano USB, I can't remember what the other, like mini USB, micro USB, just confused the snot out of me because they're so similar. And then of course you get your kind of proprietary, I believe this is like a crazy amount of pins. It's a 16 pin to OBD connector. This of course will hook into the device. And yeah, you need to also download the OnePort software. Now I actually have two different softwares on here. I have the actual Alien Tech PowerGate 3 Plus software, and then I have HPA's OnePort. It seems like the two are interchangeable, but if you're buying this through HPA, just go ahead and do the HPA one. It just will simplify things, and you know, it'll be their software that they know how to work with versus the PowerGate software, which, again, they seem the same, but who knows? For all I know, they could be different. But anyway, we're going to go outside of the car and hook this up and do initial setup so I can send some data over to them and get my actual Stage 2 file. Alright guys, let's get started. Well, if you guys may not know, we actually got another dog recently. Say hello to Nala, who is a Labradoodle, who was very excited. Very rambunctious dog versus our Dachshund, but anyway, we're out here with the car now. We're going to go ahead and perform setup and all that stuff. I just thought we haven't gotten to have her on video yet, so I thought I'd show you guys her. So this is just really for initial setup and just pulling off the factory ECU stuff. And then we'll actually have the fun of flashing the tune later in this video. My brother is currently hosing off the Fusion behind me, so if you guys hear a hose running, that is why. Apparently not very good at plugging stuff in, because I'm doing a pretty bad job of getting this hooked up. There we go. Alright. We have a little OS's loading message now, just signifying that it is loading its factory little operating system, and we'll utilize it to pull off. Probably deafened you guys there for a second, but we'll get that pulled off so you guys can actually hear what's going on. So here we go. We've got our little menu here. See if I can position you guys a little bit better. This cable's not terribly long, unfortunately, so it's actually really hard to set this up. Plus I'm on a tripod, so we'll do setup. We'll do, okay, then we'll go back. Open up the tuning. It's in alphabetical order, so you might have to scroll a while, especially for me, since this is a VW. Skoda. And there we go. Volkswagen. Okay. Oddly enough, the GTI did not just see it. Okay. Alright, give me a minute to figure this out because they did not send instructions at all for this. So, I'm going to figure this out. Get back to you guys in a minute. Alright, after a lot of hunting, it's now saving the stock ECU data. And yeah, it's read the stock tune on it, so we are now good to go. It should now be able to go into the My Vehicle menu. Go back. I know of a DTC code because my catalytic converter has been removed. Now if I go to My Vehicle, it'll want to read the DTC. Oh, I can clear it. Huh. So I'm not going to do that right now though because I don't have my fix in. So, yep, that is the way you set this up. You simply just have to kind of find it. Of course, this one being a 6-speed DSG car, I scrolled down until I found GTI 6AT and then click that and it read everything and now I'm good to go. So yeah, we'll now go inside, we'll upload this and have it ready to go for when HPA and I can corroborate and get this sent over to have them tune this car and get my stage 2 set up. Alright. So now we've got this plugged into the PC here. We're going to open up OnePort user, which is here on my computer. Having my programs kind of organized in their own little folder. And we're going to use that to have it connect to my HPA OnePort. We're going to see the little OS's loading screen again. And I'll show you guys how to actually upload the data off of this, your stock tune. And so it can actually be utilized by HPA themselves. So as you can see, it's now loaded on. It's identifying on the PC side of things. Once it finishes loading, it will actually fire up correctly. It's just taking its time. Not going to get any driving videos, and this part of the video may include a later part of this video which will include me driving it. Now you guys have already seen through the earlier parts of this video how to actually set up the tune. You pull the data from the car with your OnePort, you have the software, you upload it to the software, which I don't think I fully demonstrated, but you pretty much hit the upload data button after you pulled the car's data off the car itself, as you did during the first parts of this video. And if there are any holes in this video, let me know in the comments and I can do my best to explain them. And then you send that off to HPA and they will send you back a few days later your tune file. It took me about 3 days to receive my tune file from them, and I received it today. You once again set the OnePort into the computer, you download the file to your OnePort, and now it is time for the fun part, which is to go and plug it in and put on the car. So we're going to do that today. So the one thing they do recommend is to put a battery charger on the car. Now unfortunately for me, I don't own a battery charger. So they say it takes 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to test that theory today and see how long it genuinely takes. My car's got a good battery in it. It was just replaced a few months ago. So I'm hoping that I won't have any problems. I may run the car very briefly for a minute just to fully charge the battery so that it's good to go, and then we will begin the actual tune process. But once you have your OnePort set up, go ahead and grab it and your OBD cable that it comes with and plug that in with this crazy, I think that's like a freaking 16 port connector. Yeah, 16 plug connector. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll plug it into the OBD side of things and flash the car, which is gonna be exciting. Like I said, the weather is just so bad we may not get to drive it in this video, especially since I'm gonna throw in all the clips from before, and so that'll probably be next video. But because the weather is just so bad this week, we've got rain in the forecast every day this week. It's we've got a break right now, and it's probably going to be very, very horrible outside to be doing all this. But we're going to go ahead and take advantage of what time we have, and we're going to go ahead and flash this tune on the car. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and head on out to the car, flash this tune, and we will be officially stage 2. Alright, so we are back in the GTI. It is time to flash this car to stage 2. So, got your OnePort hooked up to your cable. Next thing I'm going to do is just plug it back into the OBD port, which as you guys saw from the beginning of the video was kind of a chore, so I'm going to put my camera down while I do it. And then we'll actually turn the ignition on and begin the process. And yeah, I'm very excited for this. This is going to be really fun. Alright, so we're plugged in. I closed the door. It's just kind of a thing I do with any time I've ever tuned a car. So I've got the HPA coming up there. What I'm going to do now is kind of prepare the car for what we're going to do. So one thing I'm going to do, because it is humid and gross here in Georgia, I'm going to turn the ignition on because we have to do that anyway. I'm going to crack this window. Now, I'm not rolling it down all the way because it has rained quite consistently lately, and today especially. So I'm going to go ahead and wake this up so I can see the preview. So you want to go into tuning. It'll prompt you to flash a file, is what I was told by HPA. So let's see. And we will begin the tuning process once it decides it's ready. And yeah. Okay, we're going to continue with the writing of the file. HPA stage 2. Initialization in progress. So there we go, and we appear to be off to the races, guys. So I'm gonna cut back with you guys once this is done. They said it takes like 20 to 30 minutes. It's gonna suck sitting in here with the car off for 20-30 minutes. But yeah, I'll catch up to you guys once it's done. I'll show you guys everything, and yeah. This is definitely taking longer than HPA said it would. They said it usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes to flash a tune on this car. I started this process just before 7 o'clock. It is now 7:20, as you might be able to see. So it's about 20 minutes, and we are probably not even halfway through. And I'm hoping that once we pass that halfway mark, it'll just speed up and it'll be done relatively quick. But I'm definitely not enjoying leaving the car in accessory mode for this long and it actually doing something. Now granted, I've turned off everything that I can that's electronic. I'm not touching the window switches. I've turned off the headlights. I've turned off the radio completely. The AC's off. Everything that I can turn off is off. So I'm hoping that despite the fact I've got a pretty new battery in this car, that'll be able to withstand it for as long as it needs to. It's definitely taking a while, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, hopefully it won't be too much longer. I'm hoping that once it kind of really gets into the nitty-gritty, it speeds up, and we can actually crank this car up today, recharge the battery, because it's probably going to be draining it quite heavily, and then be able to actually take it out and cruise at some later day, because the weather is just too unpredictable, guys. As much as I would love to take it out today and go do some rips with it and just kind of test out how this car is going to drive, I do have to be sensible with it. The weather is just not cooperating enough. Obviously it's contrary to what I'm saying right now, because as you guys can see, it's clearly sunny out, but it's just been so unpredictable. It's been like sunny for like a couple hours and rained the rest of the day, and then sunny, then rain, then sunny, then rain. So it's really hard to predict exactly how this is all going to happen. So I'd rather just play it safe, and just take it out at a later time when the weather is a bit more permitting. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'll catch up to you guys once this is finally wrapped up, and we will crank the car up for the first time on stage 2, making 330 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. It's a big jump, so I'm excited just to hear it. Now, obviously, it's gonna be a bit of a learning curve driving it because, good gracious, it's a huge jump, but we got this, guys. So yeah, I'll catch up to you guys in a minute once this is finished. I'll say a minute, but seconds for you guys, forever for me. But anyway, guys, I'll catch up to you once this is done, and we'll crank the car up and check this all out. Alright, guys, so the car just wrapped up. It just pretty much said, oh, it verified the flash memory, of course, and then it was like, okay, go ahead and turn the key off and take the OnePort out, which I have now done. So you guys know what that means. It is time for the first startup of a 300 plus horsepower GTI. Let's go ahead and set the camera down. I'm gonna try to find a spot that's not got water pooled up everywhere, and also disregard how dirty the car is. It was parked under a tree at work and it got covered in leaves, so yeah, disregard how dirty it is. But anyway, let's get that first start. So keep in mind, the car is already warm. I did just get home with it maybe about an hour or two ago, so it is a little warm out, so it's not gonna be like a cold start. Alright, guys, here we go with the first start. It's not really any different. But yeah, she's ready now. The weather's so bad, I don't know if I'm actually gonna push it today, but who knows. So yeah, the car doesn't sound any different than it did before, and actually my check engine light's off, so there's that. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to get to drive this thing now with all this extra power. I mean, it's 120 extra horsepower and almost doubling the torque, so this car's probably gonna be a lot more scary than it used to be. Kind of to put it in ballparks, Michael's Big Turbo Speed 3 makes a little bit more than this in terms of horsepower, so it should be pretty close in terms of how it drives. Obviously the DSG is going to make a bit of a difference between his manual and my DSG, and of course this car does make more power. I mean, he's probably pushing close to 380, 390 wheel horsepower, if not touching the 4s now that his tune has gotten fully dialed in. But when he was just on direct with the big turbo, it was probably around 330, 340 wheel, but he's obviously making a lot more power than me now. But anyway, this is going to be pretty scary. The car is definitely going to be a handful, because one, it's still on these really crappy like 225s, these iMove Gen 6 tires. This thing spins already as it is on stock power. I can only imagine with the amount of extra horsepower it's about to have. So I'm gonna let it run for a minute just to kind of recharge the battery, because I mean, it did sit for almost 40 minutes with accessory turned on. But yeah, so anyway, I hope you all enjoyed just this quick video, just kind of showing, I say quick, it was probably a fairly long video of flashing the car, showing you guys how to do it all. If there were any holes or questions you guys have in the video about this video, please leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, thing stinks. That slightly decatted life. I mean, this car is running a high flow, but stinks. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed it. We will see you guys hopefully in the next video, being the first little bit of full throttle pulls in the car. I gotta be easy on it, because here's the thing, HPA told me that I should have gotten the DSG tune with it. Now, I asked why this was the case, because I was told it wasn't, or at least it's not advertised to be required or recommended even until you go stage 3 with an IS38 hybrid turbo, and they said it's just a good idea because of the torque raise these cars get with stage 2, because now this car is making 407 pound-feet of torque, which is a lot of torque for a GTI to run. But anyway, that's kind of that. So definitely, if you go stage 2, get the DSG tune. If you don't, just be careful with it. I don't drive this car terribly hard when I'm by myself. When I have someone with me, I decide to show off, and that's when I start really pushing the car. But I'm not going to do that now, and it looks like it is starting to rain again, so I'm going to roll the window up, take the key out, and go back inside. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content coming soon. Like I said, if there are any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you about the tuning setup on this car. And yeah, Next video, we will be hopefully pushing this car a little bit and seeing what it can do with all that extra power. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Have a great day, guys, and stay safe.
With